Hi folks, back again. Uh, anyway, this would be Bathrobe Chronicles 20. I've got my numbering system all messed up, and so I think I'm going to start at 20 and go from there. A couple of things I've been wanting to talk about, and I went in to get some coffee and I saw this mug, and this reminded me of the two things. And no, I don't believe in fate or any of that kind of crap that I went in there and the cup jumped out at me. It surely didn't. But the person who I want to talk about brought me this mug after I had a brief hospital stay once. And when I got home a day or so later, he and his wife came by and brought this to me. And had flowers in it, and I really appreciated it. And that's been 10 years ago. I'm not even sure. Anyway, the two things I wanted to talk about relate to this fellow who brought me the cup. One is, oftentimes in this so-called complementary alternative medicine and all, people will say, well, so what if it doesn't do any good? What's the harm? You hear this all the time. What's the harm? If Aunt Sue wants to go see somebody, okay, they aren't a psychic, or they aren't this, or no, but if she likes it, what's the harm? Well, another segment I'll get into that a little more. But the harm is when you have an actual illness. The harm is that you will not be getting actual treatment that you need, medical treatment that may help you. True, sometimes things get to a point where nothing can be done. You know, basically the doctors say, we've done everything we can do. And they either literally tell you, or you know it, I don't know, if you're going to die, and you're going to die from this disease that you have, because we have done everything we can. There's nothing else we can do. Sadly, all too often what people do then is they go to the whack jobs, the charlatans, the thieves, who prey on people who are in their situation. And typically, or not typically, but if they have the financial resources, they head out of the country. Mexico, no telling where, for all these quack treatments. Sadly, his friend, prostate cancer, they got to a point where the doctors said, we can't do anything else. So he headed to the islands. Frankly, I don't remember. I have no idea what the treatment was or anything else. I did an internet search once, spent a few minutes on the internet, and briefly looked at some of the treatments that are being offered down there. And normally these things, it's some kind of diet thing, or some kind of magic herb, or gosh, you know, we'll colonic cleansing, detox you, and on and on and on. This fellow was pretty well known in the area, and there were at least two that I know of get-togethers to raise money for him, because obviously it's expensive to go anywhere nowadays, at plane fares and hotels and all. But these treatments, the prices on these things are absurd. And so he took off to the islands. He and his wife went down there several times. And the last day I saw him was actually the day before he died. I doubt seriously if he could hear. I doubt seriously if he could see. His eyes were open. There was no indication that, you know, that he could hear people. And a fellow who most likely weighed 100 70 pounds or so, was down to maybe 75 pounds. I guess the point is, these people robbed him and his family of whatever time he had left. They just robbed him, robbed them. By having these so-called treatments, by looking people in the eye and saying, "Oh, yes, well, we have the answers," you know. No, "Oh no, you up there, doctors, all they want to do is give you chemo and so forth and so on. But we have the real answers here." So he and his family and friends were robbed of whatever okay kind of time that he had left, because he was traveling down to the islands to get these bogus treatments. There's a website, and the name of it is, I'm pretty sure it's just like I said earlier, What's the Harm? WHATSTHEHARM. I'm pretty sure it's .com. And this fellow, I believe it's a fellow who put this together, he has hundreds, if not thousands, I can't remember, of what's the harm. In other words, what's the harm when a person gets this treatment? What's the harm when a person gets that treatment? And movie stars, he's got several of those. I think Peter Sellers, I believe, fell for the bogus treatments also. He's had several movie stars on there who have fallen for that stuff. And of course subsequently died after the treatments. I guess that's enough of that. This is